Hello, everybody. Hey, this is Tight Stops. Just wanted to do a video for you all on how I use the strat with the clouds, and also just kind of correlating that with the VWAP. If you have any questions, you can type them in the chat on Facebook Live, or if you're in Discord, you can type them in there too. So what I'm going to start with is basically just starting with the cloud system. So basically what I do in the morning is and I also always have my pre-market data up. It's just important. I just want to see what the kind of the bigger smart money's doing in the morning. Are they buying it? Are they selling it? Is it going sideways? So for this example on AMD, and just just mind me a little bit. I'm just a little bit nervous. I know I got a ton of people watching me. But in the pre-market this morning and last night, AMD just made a little bit of move after hours, and then it made a decent, okay move in the pre-market. And what I want to do with something like this is, if I'm looking at this at the open and I'm trying to catch a runner here, I'm going to have my 3-minute chart up, and I'm going to make sure that I've got some conditions that have to be met before I even consider taking a trade. The first condition is am I above VWAP? In this case, in AMD this morning, the first 3-minute candle went above VWAP. But my second condition is I've got to have the candle completely close above the VWAP. Because everything I do, I want confirmation in my trade, especially if you're trying to trade the open, which makes it more volatile, makes it way more difficult. And I have to have rules in place to make sure that I'm not losing money. So as you can see here, the cloud turned green right at the open, so that's a buy signal. But the first 3-minute candle did not stay above VWAP, so I still have no entry. Once again, it didn't stay above VWAP, didn't stay above VWAP, still didn't. And then here, my next rule is my first candle that goes above VWAP has to close. It has to close. So, because once again, I want confirmation that we're in a buying signal direction. So I don't take this trade because it's the first candle that opens above VWAP. And my entry on the second candle would be here. And then as long as my stop would be just below the VWAP, because we don't want to lose money. So here the candle comes in, we get another inside candle that stays above VWAP, and then as soon as we come in here and this candle closes down below VWAP, I'm stopped out. It's just the trade's not working out. And one thing I've learned just talking to people and studying and watching a ton of videos is the algos and the institutions, they want to buy stuff above VWAP. It's just, I don't know any secrets. It's just what I've kind of talked to people, and that's what they like to use. So I get stopped out here. We're still below VWAP. The cloud is still green. Now here it's starting to fade. We're below VWAP, but as soon as it starts turning to green again, that means we've got some buy signals coming in. So once again, this candle here goes above VWAP. I don't just take the trade as soon as it gets above VWAP. I have to have the candle close. So I enter here. My stop is just below VWAP. So I enter. It comes in, touches VWAP, reverses, and we're still in a green cloud situation. So after the 3-minute candle reverses, we start getting into profit, start getting into pretty good profit. What I personally do is I switch to a 10-minute chart. And also this chart or this cloud system I've got from Ripster, so all the credit goes to him. I mean, from what I understand, he created this whole cloud system, and it's just, it just makes me a more consistent trader. Doesn't make me perfect, that's for sure, but it makes me consistent. So what I do is I'll switch to the 10-minute, and this can help me if I'm trying to hit a longer term trade. And every time the 10-minute comes, this would have been after the entry. We get a 2 up, 2 up, 2 up, 2 up. We're still in. We're still riding this cloud. And you can take it all the way here until we start the cloud starts thinning out. We get our strat signal to get out. It's also around lunchtime, which is pretty common for things to just settle in and just kind of go chop sideways. But if you were wanting to try to ride this thing out, and you're trying to hit a big banger, you can ride it until it starts kind of getting really thin here, and then just cut it and get out of your nice winner there. So that's kind of just the basics of the cloud and how I use the VWAP. Make sure the one candle forms above VWAP before entry. Use your strat entries for your entries, and then I switch to the 10-minute after I'm in profit to try to ride profits up. Because if I sit on this AMD the whole time on the 3-minute, and I'm trying to, make a nice big gain, this kind of stuff here is going to just shake anybody out, including me. Now, for scalpers, it's and that's the other thing is if you have a scalping strategy, the 3-minute chart, and you're just trying to scalp up, is riding up here. It comes in, cloud closes, and you get out. So the same thing goes from there. Another trade today, Nike. Same thing in here. The pre-market is a validation to me that the stock is probably going to be pretty strong. Now, obviously, things can change at the open. I mean, news, the Fed. I mean, who knows? Anything can change. But Nike was on my watch list this morning. I took it right at the open. I have the green cloud coming in, turns down red just before the open. First candle closes above VWAP. My entry is right here at the top of the first 3-minute candle. And my stop is just below VWAP, because I have to leave myself some room for the market to find a direction. And once again, this trade paid very nicely on the way up, and as I'm getting into profit, I switch to my 10. And we're green here, strong green cloud signals here all the way up. Once again, getting closer to lunchtime, it depends on what your strategy is. You can take, let's say I buy 12 contracts and I start seeing a 2-2 down, then I can cut 9. And then I can hold 3 to see if this thing wants to come back. But as soon as it comes down here past my cloud, I would just cut those 3 contracts too. But I'm already in profit on the first 9 contracts. And these are still way above my entry. So the system is a basic system. And I know France and Soldier did an awesome video Saturday about this. And this is just something I've been using for a while to go along with the strat, and it just helps me visually stay in trades. I'm definitely not a master trader by any stretch of the imagination, but I have money management skills, and I have my rules, which you all have to set and just plaster them right on your computer screen. And my rules are: am I above VWAP? The first candle has to form above VWAP before entry. Before I enter the trade, I use strat entries, and then I switch to the 10-minute after being profitable. And I know I repeated it again, but it's something I learned in Rob's room. He repeats everything because he wants it to dig in and sink into your brain. And if you all haven't been in Rob's room and you're trying to learn the strat, I highly suggest you sit in there for as much as possible and join the class, because it will help change the way you think about trading like you've never thought before. And going along with this strategy, it's extremely, extremely profitable. Let's see here. I hope everybody can see me on Facebook, or on YouTube, sorry. Just a second. Yes, okay, so and if you can just type in your questions on YouTube, and I can see what's kind of coming into, and I'll get to those here in a little bit. I'm going to look at another trade, Nvidia. So changes down to the 3-minute. Once again, Nvidia in the pre-market was looking pretty strong. I didn't take this trade. I didn't take AMD at the open either, because I was concentrating on Nike. That was one of my major watches in the morning. But let's analyze the open here. Had a strong pre-market, went sideways before the open. The cloud immediately started turning green. Our first 3-minute candle did not close above VWAP. And when I say that, like this second candle, there's no entry until, if we were to take the second candle, because of strat rules, I can't enter until I'm above this first 3. It's just the strat rules. You could have entered here and then would have been stopped out. Rob will call this doing battle. So you get stopped out after that first 3-minute. As soon as it drops below VWAP, this candle comes up, gets above VWAP, and then you can take the entry right here and put your stop just below the VWAP right here. Now I know a lot of you are going to be saying, well, what about Tesla? What about Google? What about Amazon? Well, for people that have a smaller account, you shouldn't be trading them in the first place. That's just my opinion. Especially if you're trying to trade stuff like that at the open, you're going to get murdered. You want to try to, whether you're trading commons or especially options, you don't want to be trading expensive contracts at the open with a small account. And I wouldn't be buying 3, 5, 10 contracts at the open unless you have larger accounts. So that all comes down to risk management, which is going to be another video. So we get the entry here, and then we just ride this wave up. This candle would have spooked people out, but if you stick to your rule, it didn't go below VWAP. I'm still above my entry, or it went below my entry, but I'm above VWAP. So my rule is I'm not getting out, and my cloud is extremely strong and extremely green. So once I get into profit again, I switch to my 10-minute and ride the wave. I mean, I know everybody's like, well, this is just too simple. Well, it's not simple. I understand that, because it's all psychological. Trading is psychological. Trading's money management. But if you can just train yourself and keep your rules, you can ride these runs in the morning and into the lunchtime and start taking off contracts when it starts coming in, and then riding smaller positions. Let me see here. I'm going to check to see if some questions here real quick. So if anybody has any questions on YouTube too, you can type them in on there. I'm not seeing anything come in on YouTube. For those of you on Discord, the cloud is based on my cloud strategy. The green cloud is a 512, and the blue is a 3450. So that is and one thing like where the 3450 can come into play is especially if you're trying to maybe swing something, which I'm not really swinging much in this volatile market, but let's say you liked Nvidia, you got in early, you had an extra contract, we stayed above the 3450 in my rules. Because at the end of the day, it's just what the market does. People are positioning for the next day, and that's what they did here late in the day on Nvidia. But it held the 3450, so if I was extremely profitable in Nvidia on that particular day, and the market was not being crazy volatile, I could hold a contract or two into the next morning to see if I can catch a run up in the pre-market. Once again, for smaller accounts, I don't recommend that at all. It's extremely risky to try to swing anything right now. So at this point, YouTube, Discord, type in your questions, specific questions that you have. Let's see. I also wanted to go over SPY and just kind of beat this stuff into everybody's head. So if we go into SPY, so SPY after hours last night was pretty weak, but it made a pretty good sized recovery in the pre-market. So that was a good sign that we could go bullish, but we don't know for sure. We don't know. We don't know what news. We don't know what the big money wants to do in the first open. So we have to play the chart. We have to play what the chart gives us. So SPY opens up. It's above. Opens, goes above VWAP, comes back in. Second candle goes above VWAP. Entry could have been here, but there was not a strong entry right above it, so nothing there. Comes in down below VWAP, below VWAP, below VWAP, below. It closes above. My entry's right here. It comes in, touches VWAP, and then it just rides the cloud all the way up on the 3. Now, let's look at something like that's choppy. Let's see here. So I had V. I had V on my watch this morning because there was a ton of call flow that came in yesterday, and I caught a move yesterday right after lunch, and so it just was on my watch. But the first candle never closed above VWAP. Never. We're red on the cloud, and then as soon as we start turning green, that can mean the market's ready to turn. We get up here, it closes above VWAP, but this candle never even comes above it, so there's no entry. Comes in, that candle closes above VWAP. Entry, you can enter right here, and you can ride this up again and just scalp up through that. And that's why playing inside days is tough. And that's why Rob, Sarah, and every great stratter does not recommend him playing inside days. Let's look at ROKU. Let's see. So let's say you wanted to play this ROKU and you wanted to play the breakout on VWAP. Nothing in the morning, nothing, get a green, get your first candle to close. You enter here, it comes in, still doesn't go below VWAP. This candle comes in and closes below VWAP, so you're out. And that's just the frustrating part sometimes about the market. But if you follow the simple rules and you keep the rules in place and get out of bad trades, which is the candle came in, the second candle came down and closed below VWAP. I mean, it's just a simple strategy, and it's all about risk management. So now you can say this, well, this candle came in here, you can enter, and then it's just not your day on ROKU. And that's just what the market was given ROKU. But ROKU also was probably a inside day. It was inside day. So once again, another example, and I'm just pulling up random stocks off of my head. And that's the other thing is you have to mark your previous day's lows. You have to mark your previous day's highs. Because if you're trying to enter an inside day, this is what can happen to you during the trading day. I know people love to talk about Tesla and blah, blah, blah. But unless you know how to scalp and unless you have a strategy, you're probably going to get murdered and stuff like Tesla on an inside day. So yeah, Tesla traded an inside day. Now the strategy would have worked on a short. And I personally, I don't trade Tesla that much. It's just a personal thing. So basically, I don't even consider something turning red. So the clouds start turning red, I'm not below VWAP, so I don't have entry. So first candle comes in, VWAP rule, second candle inside, then you get this candle that comes down, and you can take the entry there, inside, below VWAP, 2 up. This is a 3-1-2 reversal, so that says, I should probably consider getting out, especially on a big name like Tesla. And sure enough, a 3-1-2 reversal comes, it comes up and tests VWAP. Got to do battle, especially if you're married to a stock. Second candle is weak. This candle comes, get a 2 down, and you just get chopped around. And this is what happens on stuff like Tesla and any other trade. You just get beat around, and it's frustrating because the real move didn't. So if you sat here, enter, stopped out, enter, stopped out, enter here, and then the play finally works. So, like I said, if you're married to a stock and you want to do battle with it, you have to have rules in place. And like I said, larger accounts, like everybody, like some people, you can play Tesla and get in and out of the trade. But this trade is one on an inside day. You didn't have a good move until this one got below VWAP. Anybody else? Let's see here. Hey Psyop, I don't use 8-9 that much. Let's see. So basically, guys, if you wanted me to go over any charts for today, like I said, type in your questions in general or live chat, and I'll just keep talking here about the cloud strategy. So yeah, let's see. Oh, something that's going to be on everybody's mind tomorrow. Palantir is what Rob loves to call it. If you haven't been in Rob's room, he keeps the day very fun and interesting. He's a funny dude. So one thing you want to see tomorrow morning on old Palantir is you want to see a continuation of your green cloud and your blue lower support. And if you're trying to catch this tomorrow on the 3-minute, stick to the rule. If you don't have an entry above VWAP and you don't wait for the first 3-minute candle to close above the VWAP, it's not probably going to go. Because sometimes these, Palantir is considered a meme stock. I know they just got a huge contract with the government too, so that's why the stock's just running here after hours. Let's see. So I hope I simplified it and it made a lot of sense on how I use the VWAP strategy with the clouds and the strat. I'm going to So yeah, if anybody has any questions, feel free to shoot. I guess if you don't have any questions, that means I did everything, talked about everything the right way and you understand. But if you have any questions about charts or anything, feel free. The other thing I can talk about too is how I get my watch list. And I'll start getting my watch list. I wait till after hours trading's done. And I'll kind of look at what was moving today and see what it's kind of doing in the after. I mean, yeah, after hours don't mean shit. It doesn't. But I like to see what kind of momentum we got. So AMD after hours coming in at the end of the day. So anybody that wants to trade AMD tomorrow, there's no way I like this stock again until you break today's high. I've already got my alert set for tomorrow, just below today's high. And then you got a really tight target of 103 if you go to the daily. If it breaks today's high, that is. Which would be this candle right here. And then your next target is 104.44. And that's the other thing you guys have to do too. Yeah, you have a strategy, you have something to build off, but you got to know where the stock's probably going to go. And that's usually the dailies. If the stock's running, it's going to test dailies. If it doesn't break through that previous that target, then it's probably done for the day. So I mean, you really have to know your targets. You really have to mark your targets. And anytime you're taking a trade, it just has to be something that's always on your chart. So the relationship between the three clouds, well, I was saying earlier, the 512 cloud is something I'm gonna use if I'm trying to catch a run, trying to catch a scalp, trying to stay in a trade for the morning. But if I have a strategy where I'm trying to hold this stock for a longer term period of time, like I said, overnight, if I'm above, and I got to go back to the 10-minute. If I'm staying above the 3450, which is going to be another support area for me to swing overnight or swing longer term, I can't break below that. That's my secondary what I use for my swing trading when I am swing trading, which is not right now. Let's see. Anybody else? Just like I said, don't be shy. Hop in and ask the questions. And if that's it for the night, I mean, let me know. Let's see here. Yeah, and those of you on YouTube, just type in the chats if you have any questions. I just don't want to get into some other things I do or work with, and those will be separate videos. But if you have any questions about the cloud strategy, or if something didn't make sense, let me know. Well, for swing trading, I'll go over this with you guys. I'll talk a little bit about swing trading here. So I'm going to go to the 60-minute for a swing. Let's see. So AMD on the 60. This is not a good swing trade. It did hold my 512 support on the hourly, but this is just such a bad sell-off at the end of the day that it just would not have been. Let me try to find something that would have been a good swing. Let's see, SPY. Nope, SPY sucked too for a swing. Trying to think of something that closed strong today. Everything ran up and then kind of closed a little weak in the afternoon. Let's see, Nike. Nope. Deer. See if any Dow stocks. Ugh. I think Boeing was weak in the afternoon. A lot of stuff was just weak started turning this afternoon. Nvidia. So Nvidia could have, theoretically, if I was in swing mode, this 60 wouldn't have, if I got in this earlier and I wanted to swing some contracts, I'm above the 512 pretty strongly here. Nvidia was strong today. The only problem with it is, with Nvidia though, it closed below yesterday's low, or yesterday's high. So whenever you take a swing, you want consistency on the two up. So that's just not another good example of a swing. Let's see. Let me go back in time. Puker. Everything in the chips has been puking. So here's an example where Nvidia closed above the previous day's low. We're above our yellow support, or 3450. We get a nice strong candle going into close. We're strong on the hourly on the momentum, and so yeah, on a swing, if it does not close above the previous day's high, I'm not swinging that stuff, because you just don't have continuity. Now, if we entered this trade here and we caught this whole run, let's say the next day was inside, and it was inside, so I could hold that, but I would have got murdered the next day. And that just depends on the strategy. If you're swinging contracts that are 6 months out, it's a different strategy. If you're swinging contracts that are this week, yeah, you can't sit through an inside day the next day for a continuous swing on a weekly. And that goes true for the next week. If you're doing a week the next week's contracts. You just need, you can maybe sit through an inside day today if you were swinging something for next week's expiration. It's just, you know, and that it all comes down to account size too and risk management. You got a 6-figure account, you can sit through an inside day or a little weaker day with next week's contracts. So I hope that makes sense too. What type of setups? What do you mean setups? I'm trying to. If you're talking about strat setups, I like playing inside candles the previous day. I know the strat world, you don't hear it much, but I mean it doesn't make sense to me. But I like playing 2-2 continuations because I want to follow strength. It's just you know, when you got something that is hot on Monday and it stays hot on Tuesday, why would, you know, I want to play those continuations. But yeah, for sure inside days. So 3 1s, 2 1s. Any other questions? Let's see, I got something here. Yeah, I definitely like the clouds better with extended hours on. I want to know what happened in the pre-market. I know people like to say they don't care. Well, I mean, to me that doesn't make much sense. If the SPY was a 2 up the previous day and it's puking in pre-market, why would I not want to know that? You know, it just, I want momentum in the morning to the downside or upside. And then I want my signals, which is my VWAP, my clouds, and my strat signals to carry me through into a profitable trade. Let's see. Keep on asking. Because I just don't want to go more in depth in my trading style. Save it for another video. And seriously, guys, like, I'm a pretty simple, straightforward person, and you know, I hope the video was extremely helpful. If there's something I missed out on or something you want me to go over again, just let me know for sure. I created this room to help as many people as I can, because I wish I would have had a room like this when I was starting my journey in the strat, or even in the journey in the whole trading career. I'm a full-time trader too. I'm not a you know, trying to jump in on a trade and catch a run. So this is my career. Let's see. What's everybody looking at for tomorrow? I can do some chart stuff. I can review some charts. What are you all looking at? Let's see. Let's see what. I would definitely have Microsoft on my watch tomorrow. Closed above yesterday's high. Facebook's inside day, I think. So that would be on watch for me tomorrow. Yeah, Facebook's inside. So I'd be looking for a break above. Let's see. I'd be looking for a break above right there. And I also don't just always be bullish. You would also want to look for a break below just below 326.37. I'm not taking sides in this market right now because it's just been a shit show. So don't take sides when you wake up in the morning. I don't know what's going on with my video here. NXRT. What do we got here? So NXRT, first thing I want to do is I want to look at the daily. We're in a zone. Break above here. Could break out of this channel. And I want to set my targets. And then, so your first target is right there. 63.71. Needs to break above today's high. And then my second target is going to be the week high. Last week's high of 64.22. Another thing, especially if I'm looking at the stuff for another day, another video, volume accumulation, that's exactly what's going on with this NXRT right now. Institutions are accumulating shares, which means a breakout is going to happen. When? I don't know. You got to play the chart, but anything that's in these channels like this can be very powerful moves. When they've been consulting like this for how long are we going on now? Almost a month, 2 weeks. 2 weeks, I guess. It held 34.50 support on the daily. So yeah, play the rules in the morning and you will be safe. Let's see, Snap. Snap. Thing was mooning, wasn't it? So this is for another video, but you've got major support on Snap. For all the way going back to 816. Look at this. Look at how many times. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So yes, people, this will be on my watch list, and I appreciate you pointing this one out. Break above today's high, and Snap could go to 75.89, and then a tight second target. That's going to act as resistance on the way up. When you have a tight second target like this, and this is just from thousands of hours of watching charts and trades, this is going to become resistance, so you need a strong break if you're playing this above the second target. And then yes, 79.41 could come with Snap. It can come quick. Man, this thing has been accumulating forever, since July, the end of July. They tried to get it and bust it out, but the bad market killed it, the rally. So Snap, add that to your watch list, people, and play your rules. I saw ROKU. Inside day, first target, previous day's candle, 313.46. Needs to break above 308.01. It looks like right around that area. Have we found bottom on ROKU yet? So we got strong support going all the way back to here. Support, support, support. As long as the market stays bullish, ROKU could recover unless it gets bad news and they get swooped up by whoever. Yeah. I just don't like it until it breaks today's high. And also, don't be just long. If it breaks to the low side, it's going to 293.90. Not a big target on a short, but if it breaks that one there, ROKU could be in trouble even more. Because you're starting to break some pretty strong support if it breaks through that. Going back quite a ways. What else? Snap, ROKU, I got that. I got NXRT. Yeah, man. PSYOP, that play could go. It's been consolidating for a while. TTD. Support there. Support. Inside candle, play the top of today's high. First target is 69.32. And then you got some really tight, you got a lot of resistance here. You got 3 candles. This is going to be extremely strong resistance. So if you catch this play and you get to this point and you break it, just keep a really close eye here because you're going to run into a lot of resistance. You're in a downtrend, but everything reverses on lower time frames. And you have a perfect 2-1-2 scenario for the up or down side. That's the other thing, guys. If you're trying to catch a runner or something that's going to move, you do need some volume in it. It's just participants or what moves stocks. Let's see. TTD for the short. Let's see. Yeah, you break below here, your target is the bottom of that candle. And then if it breaks that candle, it could puke. But you got support going back to June. Institutions look at this stuff, folks. This is what they look at. They look at longer time frames as these chart patterns go. Like I said, it's for another video. What else you guys got for me? DraftKings. DKNG. Yeah, DraftKings has been ugly. You got some support here on this gap right here. It's just not that strong. Yeah, you got some strength there on that support. A lot of support there. Not a big target on the short side. If you take it short, it's going to go to about 47.50. If it breaks 47.50, it'll puke. Upside, I don't like it until it breaks this green candle right here. Let me zoom in. This is a tight consolidation, which is typically a sign of strength. Institutions accumulating their shares. Accumulation. So yeah, I don't like it until it's above, what is that, 50.77. And then your first target is 51.21, and then last week's high. And then you got a PMG set up here. And DraftKings can move. They can move. It's a strong name. I don't know why it's puking so bad. I mean, the NFL season's going on, and I know tons of people, friends of mine that bet. I don't bet anymore. So I don't know what's going on. Just maybe some bad fundamentals. And also the market last month killed a lot of things. A lot of momentum was killed last month. Let's see. So if anybody does, if y'all don't have anything else, thank you so much for coming. I seriously hope I helped everybody out. My room is here for questions. I do live. I can do one-on-ones. I will be going live all day long. The room is growing quite quickly, just even the last few weeks. So, and just so everybody knows, if you want to share, please share the room. And also, I'm going to be looking for some full-time, somebody that trades full-time, who's got quite a bit of knowledge in the strat world, to help me during the daytime when I'm live. So I appreciate y'all coming, and I'll talk to you later.